Hello and welcome to Highly Informed. I'm your host, Shaun Salvaje. Highly Informed is all about entheogenic education and news you can use when it comes to the world of cannabis and psychedelics. We have two gentlemen here with us from the Texas cannabis scene, joining us for the coziest of conversations. We've built them a love seat. Geremy Greens and Colton Luther. This is truly a pleasure and a delight, especially because I see you brought me a little gift.
Absolutely.
Which I love because I actually I regularly consume your products. You've been a lifesaver for me.
Right on. That's good news.
Teacup doesn't have flower. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Geremy Greens.
I've got your inhalables.
Yeah. And you're one of our local Texas farmers.
Absolutely. I'm here in Austin, just on the east side of Austin.
Yeah. You're like my neighbor.
Yeah, we are pretty close from each other. Exactly.
It's kind of great.
I think it's like two red lights, you know?
Pretty much. It's amazing. And I don't know. I just think it speaks to seeing a local farmer producing local product and thriving in a way based on integrity and earnesty and giving back to the community.
Sure.
It's good to see you win. It's good to see you grow. It's good to support that. It's a product I want to buy.
Right.
That seems to be like a common thread.
I think so. I think that, when we think about what our brand is, it goes beyond like a label, obviously. And it's a matter of transparency and, I would say sympathy also for people. A lot of folks don't know this. We do have a couple of wholesale customers in town where you can get our stuff at shops, but we are dedicating a lot of our time to our subscribers on our website. And we are attempting to take the relationship between a grower and a client to a different level than it's ever been, where I encourage communication, I encourage questions, I encourage, if feedback on...
get to know your farmer.
Absolutely.
Just like get to know your butcher.
Absolutely. So that you can have a good idea, or at least a very good idea, where it's coming from and what's in it. And if you don't know, you are very much welcome to ask.
And kind of like Texas honey, those of us who know understand that you have to consume honey from the regional area to deal with whatever is the pollen issue in that area. So if you get sick or you're having really bad allergies, using a local honey is going to do a world of difference than something manufactured, processed, shipped.
Sure.
No offense to any of it. There's a time and a place, but for specific remedies, I would think if we're like that with honey, why wouldn't we be like that with hemp and cannabis?
We would, and we're a little bit ahead of that. So that is an evolution of genetics is what it's going to be. It's going to be genetics that grow the best in this environment. So to speak to what you're talking about, there are specific genetics that grow really well in Oregon that do not grow well at all here in the South outdoors. Okay. So what we do is we look across the globe at our latitude and like Egypt and India and Turkey, and we have seeds from those areas. Okay. Really, really original seeds like Acapulco Gold, some of the really old stuff, the Jamaican red hair, we have Afghani, and we have a Turkish and an Egyptian strain. And our goal is to develop that here, is to, put in the work to create genetics that thrive in Austin, Texas, or at least this low in Texas, because I can tell you it's a challenge. It is very much a challenge. If you're growing for boutique flower, outdoors is not going to happen in Texas under the current methods of outdoor growing. So you can't take Oregon's methods and use it here in Texas. We have way too much humidity and other elements that are challenges.
So you have to do it. It's a regional recipe.
It is.
I think folks forget
Absolutely.
Sometimes there's an art and a science.
There is.
To farming and agriculture.
Sure.
Like you see, you mentioned looking at our latitude and regional plants. I'm curious, that Texas garlic or, is that, what are the things that we see that do well here?
Well, and we're just on the, precipice of understanding which ones, because, we're just now being able to really openly grow and discuss. That's one thing I've been growing for 11 years. Okay. And so it's, having the knowledge come to you now is much easier than it was, in 2012, because now it's just, we have the accessibility of information. We're able to trade ideas, trade notes. Most growers, for the most part, are very open with each other and with the public and those kind of things. It's usually the corporate veil that builds a wall between the consumer and the actual people making it, right? So growers by nature, they're going to be sharers. That's what growers are. And so we intend to really have a platform for that with our brand, to build off of that with other growers.
Well, why? Like you say, growers just are. They're gonna share some of it, or share the seeds, or get excited about the botany of it all. Like that's worth looking at. Colton, what brought you when you came on with the team? What brought you? Why was it Geremy Greens? Not because you have a level of opportunity in the industry. You can partner with. You've built yourself a solid reputation. What was it about working with Geremy?
I mean, look at him. I think one thing about the growers being open and stuff is because it takes so much work to actually get from a knowledge tidbit to implementation and to seeing the fruits of the labor. It takes a lot. So if you're not super committed, you're going to fail, or you'll weed yourself out. If you are super committed and you can take that knowledge and run with it, you might as well have it, because it makes a better product and it makes a better industry for everybody. If we're out of stuff to smoke, who are we going to go to? We're going to try to find somebody else that we trust, right? And if we want a different flavor, or vice versa. So it's better that everyone has as much knowledge as possible. Why work with Geremy? I mean, this guy showed me some flower, probably 2019, 2020. At a trade show, on a trade show floor, and I was like, who the fuck are you?
Are good for building.
Oh.
Some folks, I know
Nailed it.
that growers, especially because some trade shows were naively scheduled during harvest season.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to get this guy out of the grow no matter what season. But the other thing is like, we were going through yet again a shitty business deal. It wasn't a spit handshake or anything, but it was trying to get on paper, and people was trying to screw you.
Speaking truth.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
It's 100% true. 100% true. And what we say is half a joke. I mean, it really was a handshake, but we had just gone through such a terrible experience to find each other to do this together, that we knew it was like, we're good. We're tight on this.
You feel like you have that sixth sense about you after you went through that experience.
I mean, I feel like it's a match. It's a match.
Bring it in. I want folks to hear you.
I mean, I feel like it's a match because, I see, Colton's hustle and whatever he puts his mind to. And I had a desire very early for that to be my organization. And so, and we hit it off really early. We see things very, very similar on how to make things where nothing currently exists, and how to drive your own demand for your own product and those kind of things. And a lot of people talk about it. And, we went through a lot of people that had great spreadsheets and a lot of Adderall, just like, ideas, like, whoa.
I know, because I've been a consultant for a long time. And then when I realized what was going on around me, I was like, what the fuck has been going on? Yeah. It also gives consultants a bad rap.
There's no spreadsheet or amount of money in the world that can put it together for you. You have to do it, especially at a plant level. If you're dealing with the plants, you have to do it, and you have to love it, I would say, without a doubt, and find a way, like you said, to create new things and new ways to reach people. This guy writes emails that you would think, they make you cry, like because of the sincerity and how deep it goes into the process. So when you get the finished product here, you feel like you've been a part of this for 12 weeks. Sure. You're not just doing a transaction with somebody. Right. And I want to be super
clear. Everyone's brought a gift, which is so lovely. No paid sponsorship for time on the mic, which is a really beautiful way to do this.
Love that.
And I love it because you bring the gift. As a veteran, I've been relying on your products for a while. So when you share, that was like a huge thing for me. Like when I do an event, we have to give back. So we're going to give, because I remember one of the first events where I met y'all, someone had given me, I had just lost my plug. And it
Perfect
was-
timing.
Exactly. But instead of having to rely on that, finding folks like you and the good people who gave me they give the veterans like a free zip, which I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a month's supply. You're literally saving me like $400 right now. Thank you.
Right.
If not more, depending on how we're
Where it is.
retailing
Yeah,
this
exactly.
week or next. But you can feel it. Like you can feel it in the product. It makes you want to stay connected. And then you get to know folks like Geremy and you get to know Colton. It's builds something bigger than just CPG.
Totally.
Like I get the CPG game, love the business thing, all of that, but it humanizes experiences, which I think folks are looking for right now.
They are. And I want to say that I really think that the cannabis buying public really desires an interaction and transparency and an understanding. By my conversations and communication with the clients that are buying from me on the site now, my subscribers, I get a lot of feedback about how they were just blindly buying whatever the person behind the counter told them, and they had no idea what
They're
or
putting
why.
trust in that.
Exactly.
Place.
And I want to tell you about the terpenes that are in my product and tell you why you enjoy that, so that you can take that knowledge and use it in other purchases, whether it's with me or anybody. You just get a better quality experience.
Yeah, my
with
food
cannabis.
knowledge got 10 times better as I learned more about the endocannabinoid system,
Right.
flavonoids, terps, flavorants. Like that's the thing I want to share with the lawmakers sometimes is like, well, my friend, you can outlaw the molecules, but then we're also looking at terps. Like it's a plant. It's just like other plants that we currently have in our grocery stores, lavender being one of them. It doesn't make sense. Like you can outlaw the molecule, but you're still going to have terps.
Yeah.
You're still going to have other things that are intoxicating molecules. Or for people like me, like it's almost like, have you ever met those folks who don't have ADD and they take Adderall?
Oh yeah.
And it speeds them up.
Yeah, they're chatterboxes.
Yeah.
They're like me without it.
But the ones who actually have but the ones who have it actually need something.
Yeah.
It calms you down. It doesn't speed you up. So it's like with the different terpene profiles, different cannabinoids, all of it, you got to be careful about making any one particular molecule an outlaw.
Yes. And I want to totally back you up on that. I was on Adderall for 25 years and I stopped taking Adderall in 2017. And I have been on a journey to find the terps that kind of give me a relief from that. And I have found them, and they're the ones that stay in my garden, and they work well for a lot of other people with ADHD that do not want to take the medicine anymore. That whole mind frame, I'm not even on the same energy level of that anymore. And so I purposely have been on the hunt for the best profile to give me the relief for that. Well, that applies to everybody else too in my sort of situation with ADHD. And it's been an absolutely liberating feeling to not have to take that pill every day just to function, and it took a little while to adjust. I get 12 months or so, but after that I was able to use the cannabis a lot more tactfully in addressing ADHD symptoms.
And I feel as we learn more about neurodiversity and different brain profiles and types, it was a bit presumptuous to assume we all have the same brain.
Right.
When so many things, even though genetically very, very, very close, still so much variability.
Right.
I don't know why we wouldn't evaluate with a similar perspective. When you guys are looking at evaluating what you're doing and what you want to bring into the future, just like we're talking about how it's expanded food understanding and agriculture knowledge. And I don't think folks realize how much actually goes into the joint.
Right.
You've got farmers, the manufacturing, the processors, and everybody has a passion. At least you hope everyone has a real passion for what they're doing, just like what you guys have.
Right.
Can you tell me about how your passion, even the times when you've doubted it, has led you in the right direction?
I think feedback, paying attention to your environmental feedback of your actions. What reaction did you cause with your action? Basically, is as simple as it is, and make sure that's on the right path to what you're after. Well, I'm after impact. Okay, so I'm not after money. I had a lot of money. That was easy. That was done. I'm more poor now than I ever have been.
Because I think it makes.
Well, I was a stockbroker, financial advisor for a little over 9 years, and then I started an oil field company. And then at age of 40, I just had a midlife train wreck and reset, and now I'm growing, and I'm going to grow for the rest of my life. So it's a matter of
sometimes you just want to be out in nature. You're
yes,
like,
and I'm telling you, there's
back.
a lot easier ways to make more money. I'm just telling you, because it is a lot of work to do it right. And so the impact that my product creates is what is the driver for me. And that's what sets the dial as to how passionate I am. When I hear back from customers, when I hear you say you're a veteran and it helps you, those are really big, loud words in my head when I hear those, because I utilize those as feedback and backup as I am heading in the right direction that I want to go in.
You can tell because you're really trying your hand and working at it. And I know you're going through iterations of cycles.
Yep.
You can tell it's reflected in the flower, because you'll come out with something and then you'll come out with something the same name, same genetics, better, better. And it means not having to overconsume. It means not having to look for product that I'm not sure about or what have they. There is some speculation that CHS, CHS is a real thing. You can have too much. If you already have an endogenous cannabinoids, much like ADD, if those receptors are already firing, you don't need to stimulate them. And overstimulation might cause illness.
Sure.
And we need to have that conversation. But there's also a conversation about, if we don't build healthy regulation, then we create the opportunity for pesticides and other things that are affecting the food cycle, ag cycle. They also affect cannabis. And there is some word on the street that CHS, the cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, may also be caused because of lack of good regulation, like what we're asking for our legislators for. Just like agriculture with the pesticides, food, and what we're seeing with autoimmune. So it could be a problem that they solve proactively, but it's not a problem that's unique to cannabis. And that's why it's so important to have good products.
It is.
Know your growers.
Sure.
But you shouldn't have to be an expert. Like I know you because I've been here for a while. And I got to know your products. And I got blessed, and folks were giving out flour for me to try.
I do that on occasion.
But it shouldn't have to be that way.
Right.
As you guys are looking to the future, what do you see in terms of building that relationship with the people who have come to need your products, with the people who love you and the people who want to support you, while also expanding that? Like, I feel like the digital footprint definitely plays a role.
Absolutely.
But how do you stay connected even while expanding that digital presence? Like, especially for those, you do it. Like you said, the emails make you feel something.
Right.
Not everybody does that.
That's absolutely correct.
For someone who's looking, what is it about that? I know you're not doing it strategically, but tell me, like, from your heart, what is it that you're putting into those emails, and also the flower? No.
Well, I will say that I believe that the purchase of any cannabis product is very emotional. I mean, it's something you're looking for a change in emotion for. So by nature, it's an emotional thing. You're purchasing on an emotion. You're not purchasing because you have to, or you're required to, or anything like that. You're purchasing because you need it, you want it, you desire the effects. Okay. So when you're making decisions like that, I feel like there is from an organizational standpoint, there is a better way to connect with the customers knowing that. And so when I was a financial advisor, I managed 3,100 customers. Okay. And everybody got a call back. Everybody got their message returned. Everybody got time if they needed it. They could come see me. They got their time. And so I backed into that, and I was like, well, how much could I grow here? Well, turns out currently, without any expansion, I can grow products for 2,000 people, $50 a product. Okay. So basically, if 2,000 people bought eighths, it would buy all of my product. Okay. That's well below the 3,100 that I manage as a financial advisor. So I thought, hey, why don't I take this to these are accounts and these are clients and these are people that need and want to be talked to, but nobody's reaching out and saying, hey, check it out. I got this product and I can tell you all about it.
Giving them that high-end treatment.
Absolutely. And it's very manageable if you set up around it.
Well, and I think it's interesting because there are different levels of this. Like not everything has to be a $1 billion bag.
Absolutely.
Not everything
totally agree
will
with that.
be a $1 billion bag, by the way, friends. But where can you find happiness?
Right.
Because
right.
for folks, like for me, in the future, when the time comes, a craft grow is where my heart is.
Right.
I don't need to do. I want to retire and
Right.
be an old veteran out
Right.
on the farm.
Yep.
Just growing growing
Yep.
food, growing medicine.
Yep.
It doesn't need to be crazy.
Right. It doesn't. Not
You
everybody has to be your
and
customer.
The science, exactly. The
Right.
science of your business model is that you realize not everybody has to be your customer.
Right.
And you've got to know your own numbers
Right.
and what you actually want to achieve. Because if
Right.
you try to build your mom and pop's op
Yeah.
on $1 billion plan,
Yeah.
your operating expenses are going to kill
Yeah.
you alone.
It may not even be feasible. It's comparatively speaking, marketing wise, it's not shooting a shotgun from the hip. It's like shooting a rifle, like accurately, and funneling down the captive audience to exactly the people that are going to appreciate your communication. And so driving people to the website and giving people the opportunity to subscribe, and then they get marketed to. I do not market anywhere else but to subscribers. And so I have some wholesale accounts in town, like that's where you can get my product at some of the shops. But our goal is to completely control our output and be the no gap between us and the user. And I think that builds the most solid relationship. I don't think that we will compete with anybody with that type of structure. And I think it'll force other farms and growers to possibly adapt to that type of, transparency and care, when it comes to that plant. Because really, you're either a manufacturer or you're a caregiver. Because if you're small boutique, you're more into the care because that's what you're getting. You're getting something that's very cared for by nature. And so on a large, commercial idea, that's great if you want to compete on price in a big market. As a individual company owner that's owned a company that's large and has done some big things, I realized I don't need all of those things. And I don't need all those things to get all the boxes checked for my desires. And primarily the impact, primarily how many people's lives can I impact, whether it's employees of mine, whether it's clients of mine.
Ooh, just overall community impact.
Yep.
Colton, what do you got?
So let me show you guys what he sends out. Seriously. Well, I don't know if you
pulled
guys
up
get
an email.
I don't know if you guys get emails from other companies and large corporations, but this is from Jeremy's heart and brain.
Wait, read it to us.
Oh, it's way too long for that.
Subscribe
For the details. But you get this long
you guys,
explanation.
I'll cut a reading of one.
Yeah, you should. I've done a video actually. But you get all this information from his brain telling you exactly what's happening. But then we also give you the test to prove it and back it up.
Ooh, lab results also.
Yeah. But those could be faked. So we also show you the actual plants that are happening.
This is the actual bag that I'm marketing on that specific
Wow. That's amazing.
Right.
So people begin following that and they follow it to their doorstep. And it's
high touch.
It's really, really
but
working.
real
We have a
simple.
very high repeat customer rate.
But that's our community, right? And we wanted to find that. That's what the brand does, is allows us to find those exact people that need us, and we can fulfill that need for them. Yep. Instead of having to buy blindly, shop blindly online, find a dealer, whatever else, you're not going to get this type of transparency and access without this type of relationship. And it's going to force other good growers to follow suit and show you guys, consumers, people, what's going on and educate you about it, because then you can talk about terpenes and their effect. Then you can talk about all these different things that happen within the plant or within the process that could have an effect on your body. How are you curing it and everything?
Yeah.
It's an impact.
And when you think about the mold issues and other things, I love I don't think you're going to run into a consumer who's against having more information.
Right.
No, always,
Yeah.
always. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you that, like the community of growers in Texas, especially the ones participating in grow house events and everything, right? And that are really a part of this community, it has become so apparent and obvious over the last few years, not only who is here for the long haul and going to remain, but who is actually able to take knowledge tidbits or pieces of information or genetics and things and actually implement it to make it better for their consumers. Because we can't get out to Lubbock where we have another friend that grows. We can't get down to Corpus Christi where we know Jake
We
grows.
got to
like
have Geremy greens everywhere.
Right. We're gonna
But
have
not
farms.
Geremy greens. We
Right.
got to have, you know,
the
Nina.
standard.
Yeah,
We have to
We
have
gotta
the standard.
Exactly.
Mhm.
My
That's
little
what we
ranch.
want.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Sure.
Totally.
Any final words of wisdom?
Subscribe to Geremy Greens.
That's Colton doing.
Yeah, I will say
doing
if,
him a good one.
you know, Lord willing, the ban does not take effect, we are going to scream with some scale. We're going to double immediately our capacity, and then we're going to be building. But we got to get past some technical stuff before I will trust anybody's money into that, whether it's
Yeah.
a bank or anybody. I'm not going to borrow it on the current legal status. So,
Yeah, it's a
um,
risky game.
right. Yeah.
But I think that's a good practice. I think it's good to hedge your bets, but also know how
Yep.
you're going to play forward.
Yep. We have a plan.
Absolutely. Thank you
Cool.
so much. And thank you all for joining us for this episode of Highly Informed. Coming up next, Tristeza. We're going to be talking about Tejanas and Cannabis. Oh my gosh. Tejanas and Cannabis. It's going to take over. I can't wait. Time to get a little spicy in here. And I can say that because I'm one of them, the spiciest ones.
Right on.